All right. Okay, let me just give you some background. I understand that not everybody would have heard Gigamon before. If you have heard, just bear with me. I think that is very good if you have heard of us before. But if you have not, this is a good chance for you to know that Gigamon is actually the market leader when it comes to network visibility. Right? When we talk about network visibility, what does that mean? Why is there such a need of network visibility? The reason is because, like it or not, in your network, there is always blind spots. Blind spots that is very difficult for you to get the traffic out. Example, like virtualized environment that we talked about just now. If you have a bunch of containers that you spin up, you are not sure sometimes that whether your IPS can actually see into this new traffic or not, this new application or not, or maybe your firewall, or maybe your SIEM, or maybe your DLP. How are you assured that you can see into these new containers that is actually spinning out, right? Or if you upgrade your VMware to a new version, sometimes your security solution or monitoring solution will just break because they cannot see into this traffic. Okay, so all this makes up what we call blind spots of your network, as well as things like encrypted traffic. When your traffic is encrypted, you send it to your security or your network monitoring. Basically, you can't really see into all this encrypted traffic. Another area of big blind spots. So Gigamon is very good in this area where we go into all these different kinds of blind spots. We pull out all the traffic and we ensure that your security solution and monitoring solution will be able to get into all these areas of blind spots, see all the traffic that is on your network, and be able to help you with the correct security or the analytics, giving you the peace of mind that whenever you have a new environment popping up, your security solution has no problem to see into all these different environments. So that is what we are very good at. We have been in the market for the past 18 years. We've been doing this for 18 years, and we have been the market leader for the past 8 years in a row. Number one in the world. Number one in the world, particularly in 3 different verticals: FSI, financial institutions. Many FSIs use Gigamon. I come from Singapore. Almost all the banks in Singapore use Gigamon. At least the Singapore local banks. You talk about UOB, OCBC, DBS, these are all Gigamon's customers, right? And globally, you talk about Standard Chartered Bank, Bank of America, these are all Merrill Lynch, these are all Gigamon customers as well, Thomson Reuters, these people, right? We have been number one in FSI, not only that, by government, as well as telco service providers. As long as the enterprise is very particular about security or monitoring, they find that, hey, using Gigamon can really help them to solve many problems, which I will explain a little bit more later. So why customers actually buy Gigamon? Why customers actually use Gigamon in their network? Okay. Reason being, you'll be surprised to find out that, hey, we not only ensure that you have full visibility of your network, we also help you to reduce costs of your security solution or monitoring. I will explain more, but just for you to know that, hey, with traffic optimization from Gigamon, you can actually invest in the security solution that you like, but not the kind of budget that you used to pay. So this is a good news because you will have more and more security solutions moving forward. You can't run away from it. There will be more and more. There's no one security solution that can address all problems. So you will need to invest in multiple security solutions. But there is no unlimited money, right? There's no unlimited money. So how are you going to get the most out of your security solutions and not paying that high a price? Gigamon can actually help you to do traffic optimization and then optimize the amount that you spend in terms of security or monitoring CapEx. Okay, so that is something that is very interesting that is upcoming in my pitch. And I will explain to you, Gigamon started off with physical appliance. Today, we support virtualized environments, right? But the features is very consistent. I will explain a bit on the physical side, just bear with me later. But whatever features that I talk about on the physical appliance, it apply for the virtual as well. That you can just spin up on your Amazon Marketplace or your Azure Marketplace, whichever public cloud that you're on. If you have public cloud workloads, you can just spin us, the Gigamon Visibility Fabric, spin us off Marketplace on Amazon, Azure, Google, or Oracle, you name it. All right. Okay, just a little bit of history about network visibility, how we have evolved, right? Now, in the past, this is something that you are very familiar with, right? In the past, you have routers, physical routers, switches, and then switches, you have your core, you have your distribution, you have your access switches, and then you have your different security solution, whether you talk about the DLP, the WAF, the WAF, the CEM, or IPS, SIEM, any other such kind of appliances. How do they get the traffic from your network? Connect to the spam pod, right? Okay, so becomes very complicated when you have a lot of security solutions or a lot of monitoring solutions. Okay, because you need to connect to all the different switches. Very, very complicated. And every time when you need to onboard, when you need to add in a new security solution, let's say tomorrow, right, you want to deploy a DLP solution, you need to connect to your network. You look at your network, whoa, so big. You need to connect to so many switches. And then you start to have, 20 lines because you need to connect to 20 spam pods. Very complicated, very complex. So for the past more than 10 years, what Gigamon does is we make things simple for organizations. So we have been in the market for 18 years. This is nothing new. Okay, this is nothing new that we are showing you. Okay, on the physical side, all right? So what we do over here is we say, hey, instead of your security solutions directly connected to your network, don't do that anymore. Don't do that anymore, all right? Let Gigamon be connected to your network one time. All your different network links, your switch, okay, all your different spam pods connect to Gigamon. Either spam pod, we can take the traffic either by spam pod or tabs, okay? Connect the spam pod to us or tap the link to Gigamon, and then Gigamon will connect to the different security solution or your monitoring. Now, if you can see this, we are like the middleman that sits in the middle. We just need to connect to your network one time. After which, now imagine once Gigamon is in there, tomorrow, back to the same case as just now, tomorrow if you need to buy a new DLP, all you need to do is connect to Gigamon and choose the traffic that you need to see. Okay, by configurations, okay, you just need to state the source as well as the destination, traffic from whichever segments that you want, just by policies. Okay, key in the policy, traffic from this IP address, this MAC address, or this entire range, send it to DLP. Done. Okay, no downtime required, do not need to touch your network, no rewiring required. You reduce the amount of months from 9 months, let's say, to deploy a new DLP, because you need to have downtime, connect the switches, connect the spam pod, check whether your spam pod is dropping traffic because there is so many tools that are sharing the same spam pod and things like that. You don't need to do that anymore, right? Because Gigamon is sitting there connected to other spam pods already. Any security solution or new monitoring solution, all you need to do, connect to Gigamon, pull the traffic that you need, that's all. We are like Amazon, connecting all the different shops, selling ovens, selling dresses, selling refrigerators, sofas. We are like Amazon, connecting the shops to the different customers in USA, China, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Vietnam, Singapore, right? Sitting in between. Now, if you want to buy something from Amazon, you don't need to travel all the way to USA to buy it. You just click, okay? Go to Amazon, click, you buy, and then you get your order, right? So this is what Gigamon does. We connect the network to your security or monitoring tools, okay, such that now your tools does not need to touch the network directly anymore. Just go to Gigamon, choose the traffic that you need, right? So that is what we did for the physical side. Some of you may already have Gigamon on your network. You may be very familiar with this. Okay, we actually changed the game when it comes to security. Now, the issue today is things are not as simple as the past anymore. In the past, it's just physical. You want to get the traffic, still okay. You just get the spam port, okay, from that switch. But today, now, when you have workloads that is sitting on VMware, when you have workloads that is sitting on Amazon, Azure, Google, Ali, okay, all these different clouds, there's no spam port that you can actually tap from. There's no spam port that you can actually connect to and get the traffic. So how are you going to get the traffic? How is your security solution going to see into all these packets, all these network packets that you need to see for effective security? And this is what Gigamon actually help you to do, right? Even without the spam ports, Gigamon help you to ensure we are able to get you the required network traffic that you need to send to your security solutions effectively and cost effectively as well. Okay. Now we talk about this. So we are going to give more details later, but in a nutshell, we're talking about from physical to virtual, whichever kind of environment that you are on. Okay, Gigamon, once you have Gigamon in there, we ensure that we can see into your entire network infrastructure, whether it is containers, Kubernetes, okay, whether you are running Calico behind the scene of Kubernetes, whether you are running Nutanix, you are running VMware, you are running OpenStack, KVM, or public cloud, doesn't matter to us. We will ensure that your security or monitoring solution will be able to see into this network packets effectively. Okay. So what we really do now, Gigamon, we ask, as I mentioned just now, we are connected to the network one time. So we position ourselves very uniquely in this manner. We sit between your network that is on the left and then your tools, right? So Gigamon is connected to your network one time. Okay, I talked about it just now. So your network switches, if you're interested to see that link, then connect the spam port to us. All right, I will see that traffic. And if you have a bunch of virtualized environment, I will have this capability called virtual tabs, which I will install on your hypervisor. Just one virtual tab per hypervisor is a virtual instance that I actually install on your physical, on your big server. Okay, behind the hypervisor, there are probably 200-300 VMs that's actually running. But just with that instance, I can see all this traffic. I'll put it up, and all your different security solutions just connect to Gigamon, pull the traffic that you need to see. If you can understand this concept, this is a very, very important slide. You will see that, hey, with Gigamon in there, it makes things so much more effective and efficient for you. Because now adding a new tool is like immediate. Just connect to Gigamon. Tomorrow, want to buy an IPS, just connect to Gigamon. Okay, grab the traffic that you need. Tomorrow, you need an SIEM, just connect to Gigamon, grab the traffic that you need. You want to buy a DLP, connect to Gigamon, grab the traffic that you need. See everything, containers, okay, public cloud, no problem, because Gigamon is already connected to them. All right. So traffic acquisition, we ensure that you can see all. That is one thing. How do we help you to save money? We talk about it. Customers, why they buy Gigamon? Because they realize that, hey, with Gigamon, they can get a lot of cost savings when it comes to their security solution. So how do we help them to do that? We do this thing called traffic optimization, right? Traffic optimization. So you can see from this slide that, hey, a big chunk of traffic coming in, okay, if you can see my cursor, a whole lot of traffic coming in, you can have 40 gig per uplink, okay, that is coming to my aggregator, to my visibility fabric. Sorry, okay. Right. So you can have all these different 100 gig links, 40 gig links, 10 gig links coming in, huge chunk of traffic. If there's no Gigamon in there, you need a big tool, a big capacity tool But you see that with Gigamon in there, we can do this thing called traffic optimization before we send it to the tool. Now, your tool may not need to see everything. Okay, your tool may not need, your firewall may not need to see all the traffic. Maybe they just need to see traffic that is non-video traffic. A lot of customers, they actually use Gigamon to filter away video traffic before they send it to the firewall. That can reduce the amount of capacity of firewall by easily 30 to 40%, some even up to 70%. The most popular capability that is within Gigamon that customer use is called deduplication. Okay, in your network, there's a lot of duplicated packets. Okay, if you have been in network long enough, you know that this happens, duplicated packets, right? Especially if your network is quite big. So on average, most organizations have about 30 to 40% of duplicated packets. So Gigamon can actually remove these packets, and you can think about it. Once I removed it, all the security tools or monitoring tools that's connected to me get optimized in terms of their traffic. Okay, you can remove about 30 to 40% of the traffic. So your firewall example, if it's a 10 gig, if you're passing 10 gig of traffic in there, just by removing the duplicated packets, now your firewall just sees 6 gig of traffic because I removed the 30 to 40%. Now, so your firewall now has got 3 to 4 gig of extra space that in the next 2-3 years, you do not need to buy a new one. So there's a lot of cost saving in that. You do not need to buy such a big box. You can use us to filter traffic. Okay, so any security solution that's connected to us, you can just choose the traffic that you need to pass to them. Right? There are more than 30 ways of traffic optimization that you can do on Gigamon. Okay, either by filtering layer 1 to layer 7, you can filter by port, by MAC address, okay, by protocols, okay, or even by application. Maybe your SIEM wants to see everything except YouTube traffic. Then you can just, by a configuration on Gigamon, okay, just say that, okay, I need the traffic pass everything except YouTube or except Netflix, send to SIEM, done. Okay, very easy for Gigamon as a visibility fabric. We see everything, including the application layer, layer 7, and then you can do the necessary traffic optimization. We can also do capabilities like SSL decryption. Okay, you want to see into these encrypted packets, right? So we allow you to choose the source of traffic that you want to decrypt. Gigamon will decrypt it one time. Once we decrypt, then your tools that's connected to Gigamon will start to see decrypted traffic. Now, your next question to me will be, okay, what if some of my tools, maybe my firewall want to see encrypted traffic, or my forensic tool wants to see everything encrypted. Then I say, okay, then you pass encrypted traffic to it. If your IPS wants to see decrypted traffic, then I send decrypted traffic to it. You can choose based on the tool that you want, what exactly you want to see, the kind of traffic that you want to see. All right, so a lot of things that we can do within this solution, whether on the physical side or on the cloud side as well. If your workloads is actually on Amazon or Azure, like what I mentioned just now, same thing, okay? The visibility fabric works in the cloud, works the same way. We can also do the necessary decryption that is required before we'll get the traffic from your Amazon or Azure workloads, okay? Decrypt them before we send it to your cloud tools, before we send it to your cloud SIEM, as your SIEM that is sitting on the cloud, or you have a SIEM that is actually SaaS-based, or send it back to the SIEM that is actually on-prem. Okay, wherever your tool sits, we can just send it over, no problem. Okay, many different capabilities. This is how our box physically actually looks like. Okay, as what we mentioned just now, the different switches, you can connect the span port to us, or you can use tabs. There's a difference between tabs versus span. Span, of course, comes with a switch port. But span port, sometimes it can drop packets when your traffic gets busy. So if you are very particular, especially if it's a critical infrastructure, some of the FSI, some of the BFSI may be critical infrastructure, then you do not want to drop any packets, then you want to tap your traffic. all right, or government regulated organizations. So this is how a Gigamon box looks like. If your workload is actually on cloud, then it will be a virtual appliance that you spin off marketplace like what I mentioned. So the traffic, we will see the traffic first. Your network traffic, your network links connect to Gigamon. Gigamon will perform the necessary what we call GigaSmart capabilities. Basically, is traffic optimization, whichever features that you need. It can be SSL decryption that we talked about just now. It can be deduplication that we talked about just now. We remove the duplicated packets. Or it can be the application filtering. We talked about it just now. If you do not want Netflix, okay, we will not pass Netflix to your SIM. Okay, these are things that you can do, or any other applications, right? Or we can also, some customers nowadays, a lot of organizations are very interested on net flow or metadata. Okay, this is something that is very interesting now. Metadata. A lot of customers, they want to know, oh, okay, what exactly is the DNS root servers that's actually on my network? What is the SSL expiring certificates? What is the weak ciphers that is on my network? Is there any cryptocurrency mining that's on my network? We can actually help you to find out all this information, send it to your SIM to see it from a single pane of glass. A lot of things that we can do. Okay, inline bypass, this is much more for physical, but just want to very quickly go through this before I go into where exactly the blind spots of a cloud environment actually is, all right? So I'm coming to that portions, just stay with me for a while, right? So in particularly financial institutions, banking and finance institutions, this is a very popular use case that why customers use Gigamon because of inline bypass, right? So this is a typical inline network, right? WAF, IPS, ATP. So when we talk about it being inline, it means that, hey, if your link breaks, okay, anytime, let's say if your IPS is down, or your ATP is down, or your WAF is down, your whole network link actually breaks open. So your network will be down, right? So in this case, that's why customers, they have HA, high availability, they buy 2 boxes and things like that. Okay, but sometimes HA is also not enough. What if both boxes down together? So we have this capability called physical bypass that is within our box itself. So we are telling organizations, say that, hey, Mr. Customer, think of it from another perspective. Now your tools are all connected to Gigamon. Remember, Gigamon, we are like a visibility platform. We sit in between your network. Your network is connected to Gigamon. All your tools are also connected to Gigamon. And we have this bypass capability that, hey, when your tools is down, example, now your WAF is down, Gigamon will just bypass the WAF. Okay, I'll keep sending a heartbeat to the WAF. So once I feel that, hey, WAF is down, okay, I will say, okay, then I will bypass the WAF, continue to go to the next WAF or the IPS or the ATP. Your network is always running 24/7, very resilient. Okay, so this is something that is very popular. A lot of banks use Gigamon physical bypass capability. Right, of course, we support HA as well. If you are thinking of what if Gigamon is down, no worries about that. Okay, we do not impact your network. HA is also supported. Okay, now we want to look at, okay, we keep talking about cloud. Okay, there is a problem of getting network packets. There is a problem of seeing into cloud. Cloud is when you get your workloads into cloud, you lose a lot of control, right? So where is the problem? Okay, hybrid cloud means it's not just public cloud that we're talking about. Private cloud is also cloud, right? So VMware, NXXT, ESXi, Nutanix, right? OpenShift, KVM, OpenStack, example. So now let's look at private cloud first. I believe that most of you will have VMware on your network. Okay, virtualized environment, physical private cloud environment that is sitting on your network. Okay, most of you will have. Now, where is that problem? Okay, you have your hypervisor, big hypervisor, and behind the hypervisor, there are maybe hundreds of VMs, 100 or 200 VMs. Some have lesser, some is 20 or 30 VMs. I am not sure. Okay, but let's say if there's no Gigamon, you are getting the traffic from the hypervisor, which is here, right? What is the problem over here? The problem is that you're not seeing into this VM to VM traffic, if you can see my cursor. Big blind spot. This is what we call the lateral movements, the east-west traffic behind the hypervisor, right? So when ransomware strikes, what happens? Your threat vector, okay, your threat actor is actually sitting behind the hypervisor most of the time, okay, residing in one of the VMs maybe, stealing traffic from the next VM or the neighboring VM behind the hypervisor. You can have the best security solution, your network threat detection and response solution, but if they're only seeing traffic that is coming out of the hypervisor, you miss out a lot. This can be for 8 to 9 months, okay? Behind the hypervisor, traffic that is behind the hypervisor, okay? But yet you cannot see because you are just getting a spam pod out. You are just getting the spam pod traffic from the hypervisor out, okay? But these threat actors are behind the hypervisor, okay? Trying to steal traffic, okay? And this is what you want to prevent. This is what you want to see, right? So what Gigamon does is that on a hypervisor level, right? You just need to spin up, give us an instance, give us a resource, okay? A very small footprint. Okay, we are agentless, by the way. That's what makes us very beautiful, okay? So we will install ourselves on the hypervisor level, and we will start to see this traffic that is behind the hypervisor. We'll get all this traffic, okay? Immediately, we will get all this traffic. We'll send it to our our visibility fabric, and your tools that is connected to us, your APM, your SIEM, your IPS that is connected to us, will be able to see immediately all this traffic that is from instance to instance. Okay? Any questions, you can always ask later when we open up for Q&A. This is hot in the market right now, okay? Because more than 85% of organizations are not protected in this area. And this is a huge blind spot on the network. Ransomware is going up on the rise. There is a lot of customer information data leak that is causing huge penalties to organizations. And this happens a lot on virtualized environment. So have your virtualized environment protected, okay? Virtual tabs, okay, is very, very important to see into all this VM to VM traffic that today you probably are not seeing, okay? We are tightly integrated with vCenter, so do not worry about vMotion or you have new workloads coming on by in your VMs or things like that. We will automatically be able to capture all these new VMs that you are spinning up and be able to get the traffic from these new VMs. Same thing when you kill the VM, we will also know, all right? Okay, so same thing, we get the traffic, we will do the GigaSmart capabilities. You remove the duplicated packets, you generate the net flow, or you can do your SSL decryption. Same features applies. Now, public cloud. Okay, want to talk about public cloud. Let's say Amazon. Now, where is the problem on public cloud? As I mentioned just now, on public cloud, there's no spam pod that you can plug in and get the traffic out. So what can you do? Right? Public cloud is not new. Amazon has been around for many years. Right? So you start to see that, hey, let's say if you have an IPS, then you will say, okay, you will need to have agents on your different instances, your public cloud workloads. So imagine you have so many workloads that is on your public cloud. For IPS, you need one agent per instance. Okay, let's say this is one VM. Just for one IPS, you need to have one agent. If you have an SIEM, you need to have another agent. If you have a NDR, network threat detection and response, you need another agent on just one single instance. What does that mean? Very complicated. Agent overload. All right, you have a lot of agents that you need to manage a lot as your workloads grow, and some of them are not automated. So things get very difficult to manage, and also every agent has a weight, it takes up space on your instance. So all this is additional cost. The cost can be very, very high as you have more and more tools, right? So what Gigamon says is that, hey, don't do that anymore. Okay, Gigamon is actually able to just give us one. So instead of multiple agents that is sitting on your instance, just have Gigamon seated on the instance itself, and we will be able to get all this traffic. Okay, first spin us up on Amazon off marketplace. So we have a visibility fabric, you spin us up here on your VPC, and then we will start to see all the traffic from your different workloads. Okay, we will start to collect the traffic from your different workloads, and then your different tools are connected to Gigamon. Your virtual tools, let's say your virtual SIM, your virtual IPS, your virtual APM, okay, can just connect to Gigamon and grab the traffic on the cloud. So your tools, your SIEMs, your IPS, your WAF are not getting the traffic, touching the workloads directly. Okay, do not need to have multiple agents. Remove agent overload, remove the agents, okay? Reduce the cost, okay? Have a simplified visibility structure that is the same across physical to cloud environments, all right? So some customers will tell us, hey, we don't need to do that because today we already have CloudWatch. Okay, CloudWatch can help us to see, to monitor all these different workloads. Okay, but I can tell you, CloudWatch just give you logs most of the time, logs of flows. This is not enough for security. For security, you need to see network traffic. You need to see packets. All right, there are things that you need to do just on the physical, you need to have the spam port packets. You can't just rely on logs that is reactive. Logs are passive. Okay, only when things happen, then you get to see the logs. All right, so it's too late. What you want to see is data in motion. What is happening now? For that, you must see packets. And on public cloud, you need Gigamon kind of solution to get the packets out, to send it to your security solution. Okay, so this is what we do. We'll get the traffic. Okay, all this is automated. We are integrated with Amazon. We are integrated with Azure. So as any time, let's say under ABC account, you have a new workload on Amazon, we will know. And we will start to collect the traffic from that new workload, send it to Gigamon Visibility Fabric, and any tools connected to us will immediately see it. Okay, this is how easy we make things. Very elastic. Containers as well. A lot of you may be very worried that you have applications sitting on Kubernetes or any other containers. So Gigamon does this very well. You do not need to worry about that anymore. Even containers, we can help you to see into it. So any security solution, again, connected to us, they will be able to see, they will be able to read, to get the traffic from that container environment. No problem. Okay. So just for you to know as well, one cloud license allows you to see into different kinds of cloud environment. So we don't really care that we don't have a license to say, oh, this is just for Amazon, this is just for Azure, this is just for Kubernetes. Okay, it applies to all. You can spin up any kinds of environment and we will be able to help you to see it. Okay. In a nutshell, right, this is coming to one of my last slides already. In a nutshell, basically what we are saying over here is whether your environment is on-prem, whether your environment is on cloud, okay, it is important if you have multiple security solutions or monitoring solution, you will want to go on an architecture like this to have a platform in between as a visibility fabric. You just need to do it correctly one time, okay? Just need to connect us to your network one time. And then after that, operationally, it will be so easy for you because adding new security solution is just connecting to Gigamon, choose the traffic that you need. Removing security solution is also very easy. You just remove from Gigamon. That's all, okay? You don't need to do recabling, rewiring. You don't need to have downtime of your network. Your network is very resilient when you have a network visibility fabric layer like us. Now, the problem today is that threat landscape keep changing, okay? You have different kinds of threats by the day. Today you have threat A, tomorrow you have threat B. You have new solutions coming in. How are you going to be agile? Okay, how are you able to, the new solution, able to see into all this, your network immediately? The easiest way is have a fabric in between. Any one time new solution, connect to Gigamon, grab the traffic. You want to remove a security solution, remove it from Gigamon, don't touch your network. Your network continue to run as it is. All right, this is what we do. So you see that, hey, because we can see into any of your environments. So example, let's say this is Amazon, this is Azure. Okay, Gigamon has a single pane of glass, single management platform, connecting all your different networks together. Okay, so we can see into all your different environments. Okay, we will get the traffic. And let's say your traffic workload is actually on Amazon and your tools is actually sitting on Azure, example, your IPS is actually sitting on Azure. So we can just grab the traffic from Amazon. We just choose source and destination, remember? Yeah, we just say, okay, traffic from Amazon, send to Azure because the tool sits in Azure, send to Azure IPS. Then the traffic will go to Azure IPS. Or your tool, your SIEM actually still on-prem, okay, still in your office data center, okay? Traffic from Amazon, okay, this particular VPC, send to on-prem SIEM, okay? Very easy because it's all centralized, managed. So Gigamon help you to do this, okay? Now, coming to the last part. Okay, so we talk about metadata just now. I just want to spend a little bit of time on metadata. A lot of you will have SIEMs. Okay, so we are adding a lot of analytics for your SIEM now. Why we talk about why network packets is important, because you want to see traffic information now. Okay, you can see things like weak ciphers, suspicious user activity, rogue servers, expired certs, and things like that. This is Splunk, all right? So we are integrated with SIEMs like QRadar, Splunk, Helix, if you're using FireEye in the past, okay? Now it's Trellix, right? Now it's called Trellix already. So LogRhythm, all these different SIEMs or observability tool like Datadog or New Relic, okay? We are tightly integrated with them. We can get all this security solution and make pass it to your SIEM so that your SIEM, if you have an SOC, you monitor via your SIEM, then you can see all this information on your SIEM. What can we do? We can help you to see things like crypto mining. We can help to see port spoofing. Port spoofing is a very common attack, right? SSH actually running on port 443. Okay, so we can actually help you to actually see that, hey, this should not be running on port 80, but how come it's running on port 80 or things like that? We help you to expire the help you to identify the expired certs. I mentioned it just now. Okay, so you just need to choose the certs that you want to see, and then they can be seen on your Splunk or your QRadar, whichever platform that you have. Weak ciphers. Okay. All right, so this is really my last slide already. Okay, so we talked about it just now. There's a lot of capabilities within Gigamon, okay, for both on-prem, physical links, or virtual environment. In the cloud environment, remember there is really a lot of blind spots. Getting traffic out from the cloud environment is not as straightforward as you think. because that's not as straightforward as plugging in a spam bot. So make sure you do it correctly. Gigamon has that solution. Okay, we as I mentioned, we are the market leader in this. We do a lot of defense, regulator, to help them to get visibility into all their environments. FSI is really where we are very, very strong at. Okay, utilities, so we can really help you in this journey as you transform your traffic, bring the traffic from on-prem to the cloud. We are able to help you to have full visibility across your organization. So for more information, okay, I believe the next session is actually Q&A. You can always post the questions to us, or VietSunshine team can always follow up with you.
Thank you, Jules, for the great sharing. Thì chắc là trong cái phần này thì em xin được phép tóm tắt lại những cái ý mà bạn Jun họ muốn trình bày và chia sẻ với khách hàng. Như mọi thấy là trong cái xuyên suốt cái bài trình bày của Jun ấy, thì đầu tiên là bạn ấy có đặt ra một số những challenge dành đối với những hệ thống của khách hàng. Thì như mọi biết là vấn đề đầu tiên là vấn đề liên quan đến ad hoc security. Thì ad hoc security ấy, nó khiến cho cái hệ thống càng ngày trở nên phức tạp hơn và ngăn chặn cái khả năng scale của khách hàng. Ví dụ như ad hoc security nghĩa là khi mà chúng ta có nhu cầu, ví dụ như là năm nay chúng ta có nhu cầu về SIEM, năm sau chúng ta có nhu cầu về DLP, năm sau nữa chúng ta có nhu cầu về APT, network APT, email APT, vân vân. Thì mỗi khi mà chúng ta có nhu cầu và chúng ta push những hệ thống security đấy vào trong cái nền tảng hạ tầng network của chúng ta, thì chúng ta gặp một vấn đề là điều đấy nó khiến cho hạ tầng chúng ta không scale nữa. Đối với những khách hàng mà dựa hoàn toàn vào những tính năng như span spot hoặc là ấy, thì vấn đề lớn nhất là làm sao get được full visibility vào và đẩy những cái free visibility đấy vào trong những vụ security. Thì cái ad hoc security là cái ngăn cản chúng ta có thể scale up được hệ thống, ngăn cản chúng ta để get được full visibility vào trong tất cả hệ thống chúng ta. Thứ hai nữa là khi mà công nghệ càng ngày phát triển, chúng ta thấy là rất nhiều khách hàng ở Việt Nam hôm nay là chúng ta adoption với lại cái cloud hoặc là môi trường container hoặc là môi trường, nghĩa là môi trường của khách hàng nó không chỉ là physical mà nó còn là ảo hóa, là container và có thể mở rộng lên private cloud rồi public cloud. Thì cái vấn đề khó khăn là của chúng ta là làm sao get được cái visibility vào trong tất cả những hạ tầng. Ví dụ đối với những môi trường gọi hybrid thì đấy là một cái vấn đề mà tại sao mà Gigamon có thể giúp khách hàng giải quyết. Thì Gigamon nó đóng vai trò là thiết bị trung gian giữa các cái thiết bị network và thiết bị security. Thì Gigamon giúp cho hệ thống của khách hàng trở nên more agile, rồi là more efficient hơn và đơn giản hơn, cũng như là giúp cho cái hệ thống của chúng ta more gọi là mang lại nhiều cái phần more redundancy hơn. Thì ngoài việc mà Gigamon hỗ trợ giúp khách hàng trong việc mà hỗ trợ cho cái môi trường, trong cái môi trường truyền thống như là môi trường physical ấy, thì trong bài chia sẻ của Jun thì cũng chia sẻ về một số những cái môi trường, ví dụ như private cloud. Thì đầu tiên là đối với môi trường private cloud ấy, thì việc mà chúng ta cung cấp được visibility vào môi trường private cloud ấy, nó thách thức hơn rất nhiều so với môi trường truyền thống traditional, bởi vì nó khác với môi trường vật lý truyền thống của chúng ta có thể đặt tab, chúng ta có thể span tab, span port, span mirror traffic để chúng ta lấy được cái visibility tại các cái điểm khác nhau. Tuy nhiên thì khi mà moving lên môi trường private cloud ấy, thì cái việc đặt tab hoặc là span port ấy, nó phức tạp hơn, bởi vì lúc ấy là chúng ta ảo hóa toàn bộ môi trường. Thì cái vấn đề đặt ra là đầu tiên em lấy ví dụ là cái traffic từ VM to VM chẳng hạn, nó là một cái clean spot ở trong môi trường private cloud. Thì cái traffic VM to VM á, tại sao nó lại đặt ra là một cái clean spot trong hệ thống, bởi vì là traffic VM to VM á, là những cái traffic là intra host, nghĩa là nó đi trong cùng một host, nên là việc mà chúng ta đặt các cái tab hoặc là mirror ở trên vị suite thì gần như là chúng ta không thể lấy được cái traffic, lấy được cái visibility ở môi trường là cái traffic VM to VM. Thì cái giải pháp của Gigamon nó giúp chúng ta loại bỏ được các điểm clean spot ở trên cái môi trường mà private cloud, hoặc là khi mà đối với môi trường public cloud thì mọi người thấy là Việt Nam những năm gần đây thì cái số lượng khách hàng họ moving lên cloud cực kỳ nhiều. Thì môi trường public cloud thì rõ ràng là chúng ta không owner những hạ tầng public cloud, chúng ta không thể nào đặt thiết bị tab, không thể nào đặt được các thiết bị mirror span spot ở trên môi trường public cloud như mà chúng ta sử dụng ở trên môi trường on-prem của chúng ta được. Thì cái vấn đề đấy là một vấn đề thách thức. Thì Ví dụ như là AWS thì họ cung cấp một cái nền tảng cho phép khách hàng để giám sát là nền tảng CloudWatch. Thì vấn đề của cái CloudWatch này là CloudWatch nó chỉ cung cấp cho khách hàng visibility dưới dạng log. Tuy nhiên thì mọi người biết là log nó sẽ là không đủ để chúng ta có thể phát hiện được những cái mối đe dọa theo real time. Thứ hai nữa, log nó không phải là nó ghi lại được tất cả những cái hành động, những action activity đang diễn ra trong hệ thống của chúng ta. Thì nếu như chúng ta muốn có như get được cái full visibility ấy, thì công nghệ khác chỉ cung cấp dưới dạng là package. Thì giải pháp của Gigamon nó có thể kết hợp với giải pháp CloudWatch. CloudWatch có thể cung cấp cho anh chị dưới dạng log và Gigamon có thể cung cấp cái visibility dưới dạng package cho khách hàng. Có thể đẩy cái package này thì nó giải quyết được bài toán về visibility trên cái môi trường public cloud. Thì đấy là những thì như bạn biết là thì đấy là tổng quan những cái mà giải pháp Gigamon nó có thể mang lại cho khách hàng. Đầu tiên là giải pháp Gigamon là làm giải pháp trung gian, nó giúp tối ưu và optimize tối đa hóa được cái efficiency của việc mà khách hàng sử dụng công nghệ về ví dụ như là khi mà anh chị muốn sử dụng thêm làm sao mà tối ưu được cái việc sử dụng công cụ security nó kinh tế hơn, nó reduce được cái cost. Thứ hai nữa là nó loại bỏ những cái điểm mù ở trên tất cả các môi trường hiện có của anh chị, từ môi trường từ private cloud đến public cloud và cái môi trường như là container, là những cái môi trường mà Việt Nam đang triển khai và adoption khá là mạnh. Thì đấy là toàn bộ những cái phần mà trong cái bài trình bày, thì em cho tót lại trong cái phần trình bày của Jules. Thì không biết là trong cái phần này thì mọi người có câu hỏi gì thì có thể là mọi người có thể đặt câu hỏi trực tiếp, và có thể là kỹ thuật của VietSunshine cũng như là One House có thể trả lời. Thì đây bọn em có, thì chắc ở đây thì em có một cái câu hỏi của bạn của anh Tân ở Promise, là anh Tân có câu hỏi là có quá nhiều các lớp lọc và lựa chọn, liệu có làm ảnh hưởng đến cái tốc độ truy cập và xử lý dữ liệu của doanh nghiệp không? Thì giải pháp này phù hợp với thiết bị network hay chỉ riêng các hệ thống build sẵn từ Gigamon? Thì chắc em xin phép được trả lời câu hỏi này. Đây là câu hỏi em nghĩ là câu hỏi khá là hay của anh Tân. Thì em chia sẻ là Gigamon cung cấp rất là nhiều các cái bộ lọc và nó cho phép anh chị có thể select được những traffic và có thể đẩy đến những cái công cụ security phù hợp. Thì cái này có ảnh hưởng đến tốc độ truy cập và xử lý dữ liệu của doanh nghiệp hay không? Thì câu trả lời của em là rõ ràng là khi mà chúng ta thấy là một đặt ra vấn đề là khi chúng ta triển khai các cụ security ấy, và chúng ta đặt càng nhiều layer security vào trong hệ thống chúng ta, thì rõ ràng là cái tốc độ xử lý, tốc độ truy cập nó sẽ bị giảm đi. Bởi vì khi mà traffic đi qua thiết bị, đi qua next gen firewall thì nó phải xử lý traffic next gen firewall. Sau khi mà next gen firewall chúng ta đẩy tiếp traffic đến ví dụ như là network APT hoặc là sâu vào trong WAF các thứ chẳng, thì nó đặt thêm nhiều cái layer để xử lý dữ liệu, thì rõ ràng là nó sẽ đẩy cái tốc độ truy cập và xử lý dữ liệu của ấy, nó cũng add thêm các latency khi mà xử lý đi qua những cái layer về security này. Thì giải pháp của Gigamon nó cung cấp thêm các lớp lọc và cho phép khách hàng lựa chọn dữ liệu để đẩy đấy, thì nó giúp tăng tốc cái quá trình xử lý dữ liệu của các thiết bị security. Qua đấy là cho phép các anh chị có thể sử dụng những cái thiết bị security một cách hiệu quả hơn rất là nhiều, optimize rất là nhiều. Em lấy ví dụ là chúng ta giải pháp của Gigamon có thể cho phép anh chị có thể lọc được những cái traffic, ví dụ như là lấy ví dụ là trong môi trường của chúng ta sẽ có rất nhiều thiết bị, ví dụ có network APT, có email APT và có các cái công cụ liên quan phần giám sát, ví dụ như là Predator hoặc là vân vân chẳng hạn. Thì giải pháp của Gigamon cho phép anh chị có thể lọc những traffic liên quan email, chúng ta đẩy đến công cụ về email security, hay là chúng ta có thể lọc được những traffic liên quan đến network, ví dụ như HTTP, HTTPS, hoặc thậm chí có thể lọc theo ứng dụng YouTube, YouTube rồi là Facebook rồi vân vân, chúng ta đẩy đến công cụ liên quan phần network security để xử lý. Thì qua cái việc mà chúng ta có thể optimize, có thể select được cái dữ liệu và đẩy đến cái cụ lọc và select dữ liệu đẩy đến, thì chúng ta giúp cho chúng ta optimize và giúp cho thiết bị security có thể xử lý được cái dữ liệu nó nhanh hơn. Cái thứ hai nữa là cái giải pháp này nó có phù hợp với các thiết bị network hay chỉ riêng cho những hệ thống build sẵn từ Gigamon? Thì cái câu hỏi này em xin chia sẻ là Gigamon hỗ trợ một hệ thống ecosystem cực kỳ lớn, nghĩa là hầu hết các thiết bị security mà đang đã được có hãng ở Việt Nam triển khai đến thì hầu như là đều được support từ Gigamon, và nó không chỉ là những hệ thống build sẵn từ Gigamon mà có thể anh chị có thể phù hợp với môi trường anh chị có nhiều các cái biện pháp ví dụ Pronto, Fortinet, rồi FireEye, rồi McAfee vân vân.